Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, let me know if you all can see it. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, perfect. All right, so recording is on. Perfect. Okay, guys, first of all, I welcome you all again to this demo session. Here, I'm going to explain you a few things about Linux operating system, as well as what is Red Hat Linux, okay, and how you can start your career as a Linux administrator, okay. Sometimes freshers are confused, like what is Linux and why it is important, and in the industry, what is really happening? Is it only Windows on the servers, or is it something else? Okay, and one more thing, if you already know, like Linux is popular, then why? What is the reason? Why is Linux popular? Right? So there are a few things that I'm going to explain you. Along with that, I'm going to explain you the certification path as well. If you want to get certified in Linux operating system, what is the path? What should you learn? Right? So starting from my introduction, first of all. Okay, so my name is Amit, and I have, in fact, now 13 plus years of industry experience. I started my career as a software developer, slowly moved into Linux domain as a system administrator L3, and now I am the automation architect. Okay, so right now I'm working in an organization as an automation architect, and I take care of automation on Linux servers. Automation in the sense, um, let's say one user demo has to be created on 100 Linux servers, or in fact 100 Windows servers. How to do that? So with the help of some automation tools, we can do that. We don't need many people working on the same task. Only one is enough with the help of automation. Okay. And this is something that I will also recommend you. With Linux, I'll be also teaching you a bit of automation, Ansible automation and shell scripts, so that you are also aware and capable of creating your own automation scripts. Okay. Uh, Secondly, I'm certified in RHCSA and RHCE. These are two certifications from Red Hat. Now, what is the role of Red Hat? In the upcoming slide, I will explain you. And guys, feel free to ask questions. You can, if you have any queries, you can simply put it in the chat or also unmute. Okay, whatever you feel like. Okay. So starting with what exactly is Linux operating system, and how why it is so popular and all these things. See, if I compare this operating system Linux with the competition like Windows, Windows is a closed source operating system, which means you do not have access to the source code. Okay, for example, you're using some application, so you're using the compiled version or the executable part. The source code, what is the source code? What is the code behind the application? That is not accessible most of the times. Okay, but if the software or the operating system is open source, then you can get hold of the source code. Okay, so this is the same with Linux operating system. Linux operating system is a open source operating system, originally uh, developed by Linus Torvalds. As you can see here, the name Linus Torvalds. So Linus Torvalds started this open source project, Linux operating system, and so when Linus was learning or when he was in college, at that time, Unix operating system, UNIX, Unix operating system was really popular. It was based on C, C++. It was closed source, but it was really efficient. Okay. Uh, it became really popular in no time. And Linus also was really impressed and inspired as well and wanted to develop a kind of a clone to Unix operating system, right? So he started with his own development and started the project Linux, Linux. So Lin from his name, Linus, and UX from Unix. Okay. So it is Linux operating system. And as I said, uh, it is a kind of a hobby project by Linus Torvalds, but since it is on open source platform, developers around the world can access the source code. They can make changes on the source code, and they can also distribute the final product, the final operating system, by a different name as well. So this is the power of open source. You take the source code, you make some changes, you change the name, and then you redistribute it. So few examples. Example number one, you might have heard about Ubuntu, really popular, right? So Ubuntu or maybe CentOS, Kali Linux, really popular these days. Mint operating system. It is also Linux based. Arc Linux or Rocky Linux. These are all Linux uh, operating systems based on Linux operating system. Okay, and the main branch is the same Linux project by Linus Torvalds. Okay, so this Linux is open source. So the source code was downloaded by the group who created Ubuntu, the developers group, right? Or the organization. So they download the source code of Linux operating system, make some changes, add more features, and then distribute in the market, maybe for free, maybe for a fee. Mostly all the Linux operating systems are free. Okay, so you can download for free, you can use it for free, and the updates are also free for most of the operating systems. But let me tell you, these all operating systems are not meant for servers. The servers I'm talking about is like there is let's say Facebook. So Facebook, the application or the web application is running on web servers, right? So these servers will have some operating system installed and with a software called web server. Okay, so operating system and then on top of it an application called web server, and that is how you get the access to this application, Facebook, Instagram, or any other web application, right? So this OS is really critical. Without the operating system you cannot install any other application, right? So this operating system normally is going to be a server level operating system. Okay, and when we talk about server level operating systems in Linux, there is RHEL, which is the full form is Red Hat Enterprise Linux Operating System. Okay, RHEL, and the current version is 9. Okay, and we will be learning the same operating system. So the operating system which is used in the companies on the servers, that is more relevant for us right now, because obviously we are either looking for a job as a fresher or looking for a switch. So you need to learn something relevant. Okay, and RHEL is not relevant right now. It has been relevant past 20, 25 or 30 years. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is the operating system, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. The same thing is happening with Red Hat Linux as well. The group or the organization Red Hat, they form a team. They download the source code from the Linux repository, the open source project. Okay, and then they add some more features which support the business workload. Okay, which means this operating system is meant for the servers. Okay, where there will be some traffic, some work will be going on throughout the day and night. 24/7. The server has to be up and running, right? So there will be some computations happening. So the operating system should be capable enough to sustain the load. The server hardware is capable, okay, and that's why it is expensive to manage this server hardware. A server level operating system is also required. Therefore, you have RHEL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, you can also install Ubuntu server, CentOS, or maybe Rocky on the servers. That is fine, but there is a catch. Not a catch, but there is a limitation. The limitation is the support. For example, in Red Hat, you can download and use Red Hat for free. That is fine. But let's say the updates. Okay. In the organizations, the servers, the operating systems need to be updated. Okay. So the vendors like Microsoft, Red Hat, they release updates called patches, maybe every week, every month. So it's the job of the administrators to make sure operating system is up to date. Now, the thing with RHEL is you cannot get updates for free. So updates are not free. You have to pay a fee. And when you pay a fee, you get updates for free, plus you get support. Okay, what is the support? Support from Red Hat. Just like any other support you get, let's say you get a phone, new phone, and after a week it stopped working, the display is gone. What do? You go to the customer care, you go to the support center, right? And then they are going to see whether it is in warranty or not, and then replace or whatever they want to fix it, right? The same thing with operating system. If something is not working as intended, you can contact Red Hat support team, and they will assign one engineer, and they will be able to fix the issue. Even if required, they will access the server through the remote connection, remote desktop connection, and they can fix it. Okay. So remote sharing or screen sharing, this is all part of the process, and it's their job to fix the problem. Okay. So this is called subscription system or subscription model. Companies pay a fee to Red Hat so that they can get timely updates, or we can say updates on time, and they get Red Hat support. And there are support levels also, premier support, normal support, let's say you want the best support. Whenever there is a problem, that problem should be fixed within 1 hour or 2 hours. That is called premium support, right? So you pay extra fee for that and you get premium support. But these things are not applicable in the above mentioned operating systems. Let's say you use Ubuntu on the server, you can use it, not a problem. You know Ubuntu, how to manage it, go ahead. But if in case something is not working, you cannot contact Ubuntu and then, get the solution. The max you can do is you can go online to the forums, support forums, and post your query. Someone from Ubuntu might reply. Okay. They may take 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. I mean, there is no fixed SLA. This is called SLA, service level agreement. Okay. There is no fixed time. Same for CentOS. Right now, CentOS is owned by Red Hat, but when CentOS was not owned by Red Hat, it could be used on servers, right? The best thing was this CentOS was also from Red Hat source code, or we can say RHEL source code. Since RHEL is using Linux source code, which means RHEL source code is also available for others like Arch Linux, Rocky Linux. They use RHEL source code. Okay. So CentOS is also based on RHEL. And right now, CentOS is owned by Red Hat and they manage it. Okay. Previously, CentOS was a production levels operating system, or we can say this can be installed on a live server. Okay. On a server. But now Red Hat has moved their system and they're saying that don't use it on the live servers because this is not stable. They are not maintaining it. They're just using CentOS internally for testing purposes. Okay, so they recommend not to use CentOS on servers. Okay, similarly, Rocky and Arc, you can install them, you can use them, but you will not get any support. Okay, so there is RHEL. It's really popular, Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system, which you can use it, provided your organization has paid for the subscription. They need licenses to use it, not to use, but for the updates and the support. Okay. Any questions till now? Any doubts?
No, sir. It's pretty clear.
All right. One more thing. Till now, it is just an overview of the evolution of Linux operating system. This Linux, the main project, is still active. Okay, I'll show you on GitHub online. It is still active. It is still updated on daily basis, on weekly basis, and based on this main project, the operating systems below are also updated. Okay, so this is the main branch. That's why I said this is the main branch. And this Linux project is just the Linux kernel part. What is the kernel? You might have heard about kernel in your phones or in the operating system. Kernel is that program which connects to the hardware directly. Like in your phone, there is a Wi-Fi button, right? Not a button, but Wi-Fi device. You can turn it on, turn it off with just by typing the option, Wi-Fi option, right? So how it is happening? So when you just click on the Wi-Fi option to turn it on, the kernel in your phone will contact the hardware, the Wi-Fi module, and it will turn it on because kernel knows how to talk to this hardware or the Wi-Fi module. Okay. So this Linux kernel by Linus Torvalds is the main project, and the commands are wrapped around. Okay. So after the kernel, there is a layer of commands. Okay. And the companies or the organizations or group of developers download the same kernel project, Linux kernel project, and they evolve it. They add more features, okay, based on the purpose of that operating system. For example, Kali Linux. The base is the same. On top of it, they have added some, or they have created some tools or softwares which are meant for penetration testing. So you can learn all of that with Kali Linux because it supports, it will give you the platform to perform all those types of tests. Okay. Even if someone is already aware or is learning CEH, they might know about Kali Linux, right? Okay, so this is the overall picture. But again, the one question is still there unanswered, which is why is Linux popular? Linux is popular because, first of all, as I said, it is open source, which means millions of developers across the globe have access to the source code and they can modify it as they want and they can use it, right? This is one thing. Second, not only Linus Torvalds, there are many more developers who are contributing to Linux kernel project. Let me show this online. Hold on. You can also do this. Just go to the search engine, any search engine you want. Type Linux kernel, enter. Here it is. The link from GitHub, Torvalds Linux. Click on it. Right. Okay, so this is the source code of the Linux kernel. As you can see, you can also download it from here, download the zip, and you will get access. And when you check carefully, you will see all the files are either C language or C++ source code. Okay. Right. And check it out. How many people are contributing to this project? And this is Linus Torvalds. Hold on. Yeah. So this is Linus Torvalds. Okay. So apart from Linus Torvalds, how many others are there? More than 15,000. Okay. And if you check, someone, in fact, Linus Torvald did some change on this project 15 hours ago, right? So this is the main source code, which is maintained by Linus Torvalds and 15,000 more developers. These are not part of any company. These are contributors. They are helping Linux to build Linux kernel in a way that it is full of features. It can connect to latest hardware. It knows latest protocols, and it is secure because 15,000 people at a time are working on this Linux kernel. That's why the security flaws, if they are detected, they are fixed immediately. So that's why we say Linux is secure, because the base is secure. Whenever there is a new problem found on, let's say on Windows, let's say a protocol, HTTP protocol. Windows servers also use HTTP protocol. Linux servers also use. It's a common protocol, right? So there is a flaw in, or there is a problem in vulnerability, to be exact, in that protocol. Uh, in Windows, that might be fixed in 1 or 2 days or 3 days. But in Linux, it will be fixed within a day or within few hours. Okay. And then you will get the latest patch. And then you can update the server. Why so quick? Because the number of contributors or number of people who are contributing. Okay. So these many brains are working on this project day in and day out. Right. And as I said, it is not a company. Linus Torvalds is not running a company. It's a open source project, and people are allowed to contribute. If you know how to code, you know how operating system functions, you can also contribute. In fact, there is a proper steps in some site. I saw that how to contribute to Linux project or Linux kernel. If you're really interested, you can get into that business as well. Obviously, see, it's kind of a if you are contributing to Linux project, it will add stars to your CV. Period. Okay, it will add bonus points to your CV that you are contributing to the Linux project. You will be the desired candidate out of the lot. Okay. So, I mean, this is not very easy, first of all. Out of millions of developers, only 15,000 are contributing, right? So this is not easy. Okay, so whenever the source code is updated, the same updates are carried forward to all the other distributions. These are called distributions: Ubuntu, CentOS, Kali, Red Hat. There is one more, SUSE. Okay, so these are called distributions, and they also carry forward the same updates, and that's why it is said the Linux server is secure. One more thing, not only this feature, but in Linux, or in Red Hat Linux to be specific, what makes it secure? First is the Linux kernel, which is already secure from the foundation level. Secondly, there are file permissions. Then there is SE Linux, and then finally firewall. And in the file permissions, there are three things: basic, then ACL, and special permission. So all these things combined create a secure working environment. Okay, SE Linux is something which is checking what is happening within the operating system. Firewall is something which is checking what is happening at the network level. What packets are entering the system, what data packets are exiting the system, right? So firewall is going to control that. Yes, firewall is in Windows as well, right? Absolutely correct. So firewall is at OS level, at the network level, and at the cloud level as well. Uh, if the servers are on the cloud for your project, for your organizations, then yes, right? So all these, let's say, modules combined create a secure, robust operating system. Okay, right? And since we are going to learn Red Hat Linux, let me tell you, Red Hat Linux is used on many top level multinational organizations. For example, Facebook, Adobe, Cisco, Dell, HP, IBM. It's a very long list. Even NASA also uses Red Hat Linux operating system on their few servers. Okay, right? So as I said, just like a server operating system, which is RHEL, there is another competition called SUSE. SUSE also uses the source code of RHEL. Okay, and they have also the same model, which means you pay the subscription fee and you get the updates and support, right? So SUSE is more tuned for SAP applications. Red Hat is also for SAP, but mostly SUSE is used for SAP applications. Okay, so if in your organization or in the project SAP is being used on Linux, most probably that Linux operating system will be SUSE. Okay, but Red Hat is not far behind. Red Hat has also improved a lot, and now companies are migrating from SUSE to RHEL, right? Since we are talking about subscriptions, you might be thinking, do we need to pay to learn RHEL? Pay, like you need to purchase or get the license first and then learn it? Technically, yes, but you don't have to pay anything. It will be for free. Okay. So for students and developers and freshers, you don't have to pay any fee. So it's a no cost, no cost subscription, which you can get it for free, and that is valid for 1 year. Okay. What after 1 year, when it expires, you renew it. Like my subscription will be expired within like 30 days. So once it gets expired, I will just click renew and it is done, available for next 1 year, right? So no cost subscription is available. And with this no cost subscription, you can run 16 Red Hat Linux servers. Okay, you can install Linux on 16 servers, or we can say 16 virtual machines, like we're practicing, right? So we can create virtual machines. Okay, so all of these things will be discussed on day one, maybe after 2 or 3 days when we start the class. Okay, so we will be starting with how to create a virtual machine, how to install Red Hat, and then how to activate this subscription. Okay, and then we can proceed with the journey, right? All right, next one. Hold on. Yeah, so it was the same story. Open source. This open source is a very powerful term, not only for Linux, but for other softwares as well. For Linux, as I said, the group of developers, they form a company and then they use the same operating system, open source Linux kernel, and they create their own operating system by their own name. That's why you have these many. This is nothing. I mean, if you check Wikipedia, how many Linux based operating systems are there in the market? It's a very long list. Every day, some or the other Linux based operating system is being released. Right? Okay. So this is all about Linux and all. Let's come to the point. What are we going to learn? Because there are so many topics. When we talk about Linux, there are so many topics, so many server applications to learn. But as per Red Hat, what you should know as a system admin or a beginner, what should you know? So let me open the table of contents. Here it is. Okay. All right. So we are going to learn. First, we will start with basic commands. Okay. So basic command like, okay, first of all, why commands? Why not GUI? Like we are using Windows in GUI. We are not running commands. That is true. We are not running commands, but whatever you do in the GUI, in the background, some or the other command is running. Okay. Whatever you do, even by when you right click or left click, something is happening in the form of a command in the background, which you don't know. You open Google Chrome, you double click, right? But if you check closely, if you go to the options, properties, this is the command which is running in the background. You see this? This command runs in the background. Okay, and this is how Chrome, the GUI opens, the Chrome browser, right? The only thing in Linux operating system is you're not going to connect to a Linux server using the GUI, although you can do that. But with the help of a CLI, if you connect like this black screen and white text, this is called command line interface. So you can connect to the server from here. You will get access a text-based console. So command line interface, which is called text-based console. Just a second. Yeah. And here you can run the commands. Like I have opened Windows PowerShell. And if I run a command, for example, let's say ls is a command which will display how many files and directories or folders I have in my current location. So it says these many things are present. So we can run commands in Windows, we can run commands in Linux. The only difference is Windows is primarily used with GUI, even in the organizations, in the companies. Windows administrators are using GUI and then they administer the server. Okay, it is normal thing, but when we talk about CLI, there are so many things you can do on CLI quickly as compared to the GUI. For example, I have a list of 500 links, URLs, from where some file will be downloaded. In GUI, I will be clicking the links one by one. Okay, but in CLI, in command line interface, in this screen, I can just run a command and it will download all the links, all the files from the links within no time. Okay, so it is always a preferred way of working when it comes to the speed. You want to work quickly, right? Smartly and quickly. So CLI is the way. Okay, and that's why, first of all, we are going to learn the basic commands on how to run the commands, what are the commands, and open a file, close a file, copy, remove, delete, all those things. Okay, basic stuff. Second, create simple shell script. Now, what is shell script? Shell script is a file where you keep the commands in specific order, apply some logic or condition. All in all, you're just creating a kind of a code file, okay, program file, which will run on the server and do some job, perform some action. Okay, so you can create shell script. This is mainly used for automation. You want to do something without intervening, without any human intervention. You create a script. That script can run on multiple servers and the job will be done. Okay, you don't have to manually do all of the things. Then operate running systems. It simply means you will understand after on this topic, in this topic, you will understand how the system starts. That is called the booting process, how the system boots, right? And then CPU management, CPU processes, which whatever is running, okay, logs, system logs, various services like network service, okay, all these things will be covered in this topic. Next is configure the local storage. Like on the server, hard disks are connected, right? So manage the hard disk, create a partition, all those things. Deploy and configure, maintain systems. Install something, configure it, use it. Example, web server. Install the web server, configure it, and launch a website. That is a simple use case that we will be doing. Okay. Next one is manage basic networking. See, as a system admin, doesn't matter Windows or Linux, you should know the basics of networking. What is an IP, IPv4, IPv6? What is a protocol? What is a port number? How do all these things come together in one place? Okay. And then if required, how to change the IP on your system, the basic stuff. And along with this, in this topic, we will learn the firewall. Okay. How to restrict network data, the data flowing into the server or outgoing data from the server, right? So network data can be controlled with firewall. Next is manage user and groups. Like we use laptops, right? And normally laptops are personal. There is only one user who is working on the laptop at a time, right? But on the servers, the story is different. At a time, maybe there are 20 users or 30 users logged in parallelly on the server, right? So there has to be a team or there has to be someone who is managing the users. Normally, there is a dedicated team in the companies called IAM, Identity Access Management, those who are taking care of user IDs, create the ID, delete the ID, reset the password, all those things, user management. Okay. As a system admin, also, you should know all these things. So manage user and groups, then manage security. Like I just told you, like SE Linux, firewall, all these are the security modules in Linux. So we will learn it in this topic. Lastly, manage containers. Okay, so what is a container? A container, right now I can explain it in a way like you don't know Linux right now. You don't know what is virtualization and all. So container is a system where you can have an application running without the need of operating system. Okay, so you can run the application without the need of operating system in a virtualized manner. Okay, so container is something which is really popular. It is in demand. And this one topic of container doesn't mean that you're going to cover the complete containers. Complete containers is 50 hours course. Okay. But Red Hat also wants all the administrators to know at least the fundamentals. Okay. How containers are used and what is the benefit. And let me tell you, most of the organizations around the globe have already migrated to the containers from virtual machines to containers. Okay, so I'll be explaining you the scenario so that you are also aware. For freshers, this much is enough. But if you are someone who has experience, maybe 1, 2, 3 years, then I would recommend you to proceed ahead with the containers, at least till Kubernetes. Okay, Kubernetes is not part of RHCSA or Linux fundamentals. So this course is basically Linux fundamentals. Okay, Red Hat Linux fundamentals. And this is the same content or table of content for the certification. If you want to prove the companies wherever you are applying that you are ready for the actual servers, that you're ready, you can work on the actual servers, then you need to clear the certification. Okay, and that is the RHCSA, Red Hat Certified System Administrator. Okay, so RHCSA, Red Hat Certified System Administrator, its exam code is EX200, and you have to learn all of these topics in order to clear the exam. Once you clear the exam, you have a certificate in hand, and which actually proves that you are ready for the enterprise world. you can work on the servers. In fact, if you right now also, if you search a job on online job portal, most of the job openings will have this, notice or note, mandatory RHCSA certification. So RHCSA is mandatory. Okay. So if the RHCSA is mandatory, you are not certified, you cannot apply for that job. Simple, right? So why to lose on that opportunity? Just get it away with this certification. Obviously, it will help you with the hiring, right? Okay, so what are we going to learn? What is the duration? So basically, this course is all about the Linux fundamentals, preparation of RHCSA. Okay, so it's a 50-hour course. Normally, we will finish in 40 to 45 hours, and we keep extra hours for, let's say, practice sessions, doubt sessions, or sometimes, let's say, I'm not available, I'm not well, I may not be able to take the class, right? So we just keep some buffer. So 40 to 45 hours maximum. And we are going to cover the entire table of contents. Along with the preparation of RHCSA, I'm going to teach you two other topics as well properly. One is the bash shell scripting. Another one is Ansible automation. Bash shell scripting is already part of the table of content, but that one is really small, 1 or 2 slides. But here, what I'll do is I'll try to cover as much as possible. Bash shell scripting otherwise is a 25-hour topic separately, and Ansible is separately 50 hours more. But I have created the slides in a way that you'll be able to understand the basic stuff, and then you can carry forward the learning with some ebooks and all. Okay. So you will be learning the basic stuff like the basics of shell scripting plus the variables. What is a variable? What is a parameter? What is if statement, loop, like that. So this is the basic stuff that every administrator should know. These things are common in any programming language, C, C++, Java, PHP, JavaScript, whatever you name. So this is the foundation of any programming language. If you don't know programming, doesn't matter. As I said, we'll be starting from scratch. And this will not be very deep, but it will be more than enough for a system administrator. Okay. You will be able to create your own shell scripts for automation. Second one is Ansible automation. Ansible automation is not like the programming you do in shell scripting. It is like using a app or a program or a software. Okay. So Ansible automation is a tool which is based on Python language. It is developed using Python language. Okay. And then you can use it. Example, let's take the same task. Add user by the name demo on all 100 servers. Okay. So if I have to do this using shell script, see how many lines I have to type. You may not be able to understand everything, but I just want to give you an idea. So I'll create a shell script file. Let's say add user. Okay. So this is the file, add user by the name add user, and this is the code. So I have to type something. I'm using for loop here. I'm doing something. I'm connecting to the server, running a command, right? So everything will happen automatically. On the other hand, if I have to do the same job using Ansible automation, it will be just one single line like this, Ansible all -m user, and then the username, name equals to demo. That's it. So this one single line in Ansible will give you the same result. The benefit you get is you have to type less, plus it executes or it runs on so multiple servers parallelly. Shell script will run, or my code, this code will run one server at a time. But here, this Ansible, this will be running on 20 servers at a time. Okay, so if I have 100 servers, so within maybe 5 or 10 seconds, the job will be done. But here it will take 100 seconds minimum. 1 second per server, at least, or 1 or 2 seconds per server. Okay, so this is the power of Ansible. And I'm going to teach you Ansible, not complete, obviously. Complete is like 25 topics in total. But I'm going to teach you at least 8 to 10 topics. So almost 50% of the course. Okay, so after learning all these topics, you will be ready to learn Ansible by yourself also. Okay, or if you need hand holding, we are here. So I am also running another batch in the weekends, which is for Ansible. So if you think that, okay, you need to learn more on Ansible, you can join that batch as well. Okay, but as I said, that is the thing of uh, future when we actually cover the complete Linux fundamentals, then you will be in a better position to evaluate what to do next. Okay, right? Sometimes people ask me what to do after Linux. So Linux is the base. After Linux, you can get into automation, get into cloud or containerization. Okay, container is also called microservices, right? So Linux is the base. Even one more thing, security. So various domains are open when you have basic knowledge of Linux. Even better, if you're certified, then you can get into automation, you can get into security. It's a matter of learning the next topic. Okay, let's say you're into automation, you want to perform automation for your organization. So just learn Ansible with that. So Linux plus Ansible. You want to get into cloud, so Linux plus Azure or AWS or Google Cloud, like that. Okay, even for networking guys, people with uh, network knowledge or network certifications, they can get into network cloud network and cloud network security. So you can be a cloud network engineer, like that. Okay, also let me show you the table of contents of Ansible. Okay, one more thing before I show it to you. So I told you like RHCSA is the first certification by Red Hat, right? So after clearing RSCSA, you are eligible for the second certification, which is called RHCE, Red Hat Certified Engineer. Okay, so Red Hat Certified Engineer exam code is EX294. And what do you need to learn for this? You need to learn just the Ansible. Okay, so when you clear EX200, you are eligible for EX294. So which means you already know Linux. Now you need to learn Ansible, which means automate stuff on Linux servers. So whatever you have learned in EX200, that all you have to automate using this Ansible tools. And in fact, the exam is 4-hour duration, and you will be performing the automation on 6 servers. Let's say there is a task, same task, add a user by the name demo on these machines. So you have to run this command. Okay, it will be not that simple. Obviously, it's an exam. There will be 6-7 points. Add the user, set this password. This user should be part of user's password should expire in 30 days, in 5 days, like that. So multiple tasks will be there. Okay, and same as RHCSA, it's a 3-hour exam, and it's all about Linux fundamentals. The same thing that I just displayed in the table of contents. So the exam questions are from these topics. Okay, whatever we discussed right now. Okay, coming back to the Ansible topic, Ansible table of contents. So uh, if you want to get certified in Ansible or RHCE certification, you need to learn these below topics. Number one, you should be RHCSA. Okay, you should have the certification of EX200, right? So which means you know Linux. Second, how to install Ansible. What are various components of Ansible, like inventories, modules, variables, playbook, configuration, roles, collections, like that. Okay, and then install and configuration, configure the manage nodes. There is a concept of control node and manage node. I'll tell you when the time comes. Okay, and then create playbooks. Playbooks like complex automation is handled with a file. You type all the instructions in a file that is called a playbook, and then Ansible will run it. Okay, and then manage various things like software installation, start stop services, firewall rules, hard disk management, security. Everything can be managed from Ansible. Let's say add the firewall rule to allow port number 80 on 200 servers. So using Ansible, I can do that one single line, or maybe a playbook with 3 or 4 lines. Okay, but if I have to do it manually without automation, it will take 2 or 3 days, depending on the complexity. Okay, if I'm only one in the Linux team taking care of 200 servers, easily 2 to 3 days, right? Okay, so I also suggest students to develop the habit of automating. When you know something, don't repeat it. Okay, you know the fundamentals, you remember the commands perfect. Don't repeat it manual, don't do the manual stuff again and again. Try to automate. Okay, so develop the habit of automation. This will really help you. Even in my organization right now, as I speak, all of the day-to-day work is being automated. Okay, and the people who don't know automation, how to do it, they are sent back to the bench. Bench means out of the project within the company, but out of the project. Now they have to search another project. Okay, so just develop the mindset of automation. Keep this in mind. Cloud skills or Ansible skills that can be learned, but if you are not willing at the mind level, then it will be really tough to learn new things, right? Okay, so this is the whole story uh, of the current industry trends. Linux is popular, yes. Not only now, even if you check for the Linux positions like fresher or maybe Linux system administrator level L2, level L3, SME, there are certain levels, certain positions based on the experience. You will see at least 1,000 plus jobs for fresher and more than 5,000 jobs for experienced. And if you have the combination Linux with Ansible, then the number is really high. The job postings are really high. Okay. So yes, jobs are available. You just need to be skilled. Secondly, whatever we do in the class, like I'm going to share a PPT like this PPT. So the PPT, whatever I'm using, I'll be sharing with you guys on a Google Drive. So I'll share stuff in advance, all the PPT and everything, all the ebooks and the notes, the daily notes. Like I use Notepad, right? So all the daily notes will be also uploaded onto the Google Drive. So I'll be sharing the links. It is going to be a 1 hour class every day, maybe 8 to 9 p.m. Okay, after 2 or 3 days, we're going to schedule the live batch. Okay, so after the class is over, you will get the recordings. Classes are recorded. Okay, you will get the recordings in the student portal, which you can access once the uploading is done. You will get a notification, the recording is ready, and then you can have a look. Okay, so this is how it works. The live classes with the recordings which are available. And yes, time to time, we are going to have lab exercises, right? We have a chat. Yes, Irfan, please, what is your question?
Hi, can you hear me?
It's a bit low. Can you please speak closer to the mic?
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, perfect.
Thank you. So the Linux class is will be in the afternoon, I mean in the evening, or it will be scheduled in the morning also?
India time, 8 to 9. In the morning, what time?
So because Amit,
Yeah.
I have my CEH class at
CEH, okay.
9.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so if you extend your class even
Mm-hmm.
after 9, then it would be
Mm-hmm.
difficult for me.
Okay. I think Linux networking team is also planning for an early morning batch. You can just post your query. They will be able to help you.
To the support.
Yeah, to the support, right, to
So
the
so
support.
you'll be the trainer, right?
Yes, I'll be the trainer, correct.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. And yes, I was saying that, the PPTs which I am going to share, these PPTs are created based on my experience, my 13, 14 years of experience. So yes, some data is from the book, some is from my experience, some topics are tuned, which exactly like how it is used in the companies, right? Sometimes it's like you learn something else and you're doing something else in the organizations. It normally happens when you learn something from the book, which is not oriented with the industry needs. Then you will feel that you know Linux, but when you start working, things will be entirely different. Okay, so as I said, so I've tried my best to keep, uh, just keep some points from my experience into this PPT. Okay, and time to time I'll be explaining you a few things as well, like in the interviews, what are the important questions, what are the important scenarios to understand and learn. Okay, normally these things are not in the books or like PPTs, right? So based on my experience, because I'm also taking interviews time to time for my organization, for my team, so what are the commonly asked questions, and what are the topics which you should learn by heart? Okay, and what are silly questions which are asked, not used, in the organizations that much, but they're asked in the interviews. Okay, for example, there is a thing called absolute path, relative path. Okay, they might ask you, but what are you doing actually with absolute relative path while you're actually working? Nothing. It's just a concept that you should know. That's it. It is uh, just like we access something. You go to my computer, right? And you open a file. So this path you see at the top, this is called absolute path. Okay, the complete path from the C drive to the destination. But I'm already in C drive. If I click, let's say, dispatcher, so this is called relative. I'm already there in the location. So these small things are also, sometimes asked in the interviews, and although they don't make real any sense in the real world, but we should be prepared. So all these, small things are also part of the PPT, and I'll be sharing all this material in advance. Once you enroll, you'll get the Google Drive link, and you can download and keep a copy in your maybe phone or your laptop, so that you have access. Okay. All right. So anything else? Because I'm done with this demo. And if you have any doubts, you can unmute or let me know in the chat.
Hi, sir. Manohar this
Hi.
side.
Hi.
Yeah, I have a question related to certification.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So I heard here and there, like with my friends as well.
Mm-hmm.
So before we enter into the exam, when
Mm-hmm.
giving a certification,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get a broken OS and you need to. Uh, there will be a challenge in getting username and password before accessing the exam.
Uh,
Is it
yeah,
right?
that
Or?
that that used to happen in RHEL 6 examination. You
Okay.
used to get a broken system. You're not
Okay.
able to log in. So you have to reset the password and then log in and then fix things. So that is old method.
Okay.
New method is you get two virtual machines. So in RHEL 9 examination, you will get two virtual machines and let's say 20 questions. Okay.
Okay.
So first 10 questions on virtual machine number one, remaining questions on virtual machine number two. Virtual machine number two, you will not have the password handy, which means in the question paper, there will be no mention of the virtual machine number two root user password. So you have to crack it. You have to reset it. Okay.
Okay.
So that is same, but the we can say the approach is different, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
pattern is different. RHL. See, I have given exams since RHL 5, RHL 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I have also prepared the PPT accordingly. I have prepared the question bank for the practice accordingly, which will really help you clear the exam, right? And we'll be
got it.
discussing these things throughout the class. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks. And once after completing the trainings, are we
Mhm.
going through any mock tests from the RHCA?
Mock test at the networking's level, yes. Normally, what I do is during the classes, after few topics, we have a lab. Okay, we may use the entire hour in the lab or 30-40 minutes in the lab, right?
Okay.
When the classes are over, we have a last 2 sessions, one for doubt session and then one for exam preparation. Okay, so even if you have enrolled to the exam or not, doesn't matter. We'll be having this session. I'll be explaining you what to expect in the exam, how to prepare for the exam, and tips and tricks so that you don't lose marks, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So we will have a hands-on on cracking user passwords and
Yes,
like
yes, that
OS.
is, yeah, that is already part of the PPT. As you can see, let me
Okay.
open it. It's a dedicated topic, which is called troubleshooting. So in the troubleshooting, we have the last topic as recover the root password, and we have
Okay.
the steps. Okay. So that is, slide number 150. So it's bit far. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's bit far. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this
And
is a 190 pages PPT otherwise. Okay. So it's like that. Yeah. Please tell me.
one more last question. Sorry
Hmm.
for that.
No, no,
Asking.
no. Please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Certification we can take virtually or we need to visit the center.
You have two options. Either
Uh,
you visit the Red Hat authorized center.
okay.
Uh, you will have a laptop, a small room to sit, only you, that's it, with the laptop.
Okay.
And the laptop will be already set up for you. You just have to log into your Red Hat portal and then start the exam. You can
Okay.
also opt for the remote exam, which means from home. In that case, you need to first of all set up your laptop as per the instruction provided by Red Hat over the email. Once it is ready, then you can start the exam. Okay. So I have given my last two exams, in fact, last three exams from home.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. So
All right.
networking's gonna help in registering for RH CSA
Yes.
examination, correct?
Yes, exactly. So when you make up your mind, you just need to contact Network Kings. They will assist you with the exam booking, scheduling, and everything.
Got it.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah,
Thanks. That's all
yeah,
from my
yeah, yeah. Okay.
I got a
All right.
question.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah, beside the note you sharing from the class, yeah, do you feel it's necessary to have like to refer to like a book, an official book that is online with the exam?
Yes, yes. As I said, I'll be sharing the course material from the using the Google Drive link. You will find the ebooks over there, and time to time, I'll be highlighting the topics and the questions from the book to practice in order to prepare for the exam.
Okay.
Yeah. So as I said, this PPT has bits and pieces from the books, from my experience and all. Everything is all compiled in one big PPT, 190 pages PPT. Okay. So yes, obviously I cannot have everything in a PPT, but yes, the overall concept is here, and the minute details along with practice questions are in the books. Right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this is it for today. Let's connect when we start the class on day one. Maybe it's going to happen after 2 or 3 days. Networkings will inform you once you enroll.
Is it gonna be the same link every day?
No, it's going to be a different link.
Okay.
Yeah, it is just for the demo. Yeah.
Amit, one last
Yes,
question.
please.
How
Yes,
deep we are
yes.
diving into shell scripting because that plays major role in automation, correct?
Uh, s- it used to play, but now with the introduction to Ansible, Ansible is the main component used everywhere. But
Okay.
still, as I said, shell scripting is 20 to 25 hours course, but we are going to cover not all of it, obviously, but till for loop. Okay. If statement, for loop, variables, how to, get data and how to process it like that.
Kind of 50% out of shell
Yeah,
scripting.
not 50, but at least 20 to 30%,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please. Yes.
Uh, Hi, sir. Good evening. Actually,
Good
sir, I
evening.
have already enrolled the course for Linux, and
Okay.
this today is demo classes. So I
Yes,
got
demo class.
this meeting,
Mm-hmm.
the live recording
Yes.
in portal.
Yeah, this is a demo class. This may not be available on the portal, but I think it will be. the proper classes will start on a different platform.
Okay, sir.
Basically, we have the student portal where you can have access to the videos, and I schedule the classes. So from the student portal itself, you click on the live class button or the launch class button, and we will be connected.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah. Okay, guys, so let's connect then later. Till then, bye bye. Good night. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Yeah,
Good
bye bye.
night.
Bye bye. Good night.